today and must say that I was more than glad to hear from you and rather surprised too. It seems that I hadn't heard from you in over a week. I had me a sign made, a for rent sign made and put on my mailbox, but today I had to take it down because at last I did get a letter from you. I guess that makes us even because in your tape, the same tape that you're playing now, uh, you said that you hadn't heard from me in a while, and I realize this is so because, well, I didn't hear from you, so I didn't write either. But I think we can correct that now and get on to bigger and better things. Life here is about the same as usual. Very hot, very dry, and I guess but worst of all, so very, very lonely. I sleep about 3 hours at the most each night, and most of this is due to the extreme heat we have here. Even though I've got one fan on the head of my bed and one ceiling fan, I still just melt in this heat. Then toward morning it cools down a little bit, and by that time it's time to get up and start the daily routine of about 20 hours a day in the sweltering heat again. Sure, it rains here, and when it rains the humidity gets real high, and it seems to make it even more miserable. So I guess there isn't any way that we can win compared to the weather here. I was thinking very seriously of getting an air conditioner, but I didn't get that yet. One of the captains here one of the officers in the platoon says that he knows a fellow that is going home soon and that I might be able to buy his. So I'll have to wait a couple more weeks and see how that works out. I tell you, here you need something if I ever have to come back over here again. I'm going to send one ahead of me in my whole baggage or in whole baggage, because I'm telling you, it's just miserable here without it. So far as enemy activity or hostile actions of the sort, we haven't had any since, let's see, I believe it was the 21st day of August. That is here at Fuloy. One of our platoons at, I believe it was Quanloy, took 60 rounds of rocket fire the other night, and luckily no GIs got hurt, though it did kill, I believe they said, 5 civilians and wounded 2 or 3. So all in all, we're in pretty good shape here right at the present time. Oh, thanks for the silicone oil. I really needed it. Some of the tapes that I've gotten here are not new tapes. They are tapes that other people have given me and tapes that I did buy. And it seems that most of the lubricant has worn off of the back, and they tend to make pretty much of a roaring noise as they run through the tape recorder head. Sorry about the other tape. I really wasn't aware that you were going to play it on a 2-track system. I do hope this one works out much better. I will try it. Excuse me. I will try it on a 2-track tape here before I send it, and we'll check it out and see how it sounds. Even though the tape recorder, the 2-track job that's here, is kind of outdated and it doesn't work too well either. It belongs to a good friend of mine, the acting first sergeant at this time, and I'm really glad that he's got the job instead of me. There's only 2 E7s in the company here. I'm one, and the acting first sergeant is the other. We should get another first sergeant sometime either this week or the following week. He's coming over from the 184th, and that was the company that was deactivated here. So things will work out for the best, I guess. At any rate, the past 6 months has been an extremely long time, and looks like the forthcoming 6 months could be even longer. I sure am tired of this junk. There isn't really too much you can say about it besides that. We are playing a part in this activity. However minor it may be is immaterial. The point is that we're here and doing the best we can, which everybody seems to think is a real fine job, so no one is really worried about it right at this time. I've flown very little since I've been here. I did, let's see, the day before yesterday, take a visual reconnaissance mission for 3 hours, and we got a cute way of keeping pretty well in the clear here. We take 2,000 for ourselves, and we take 1,000 each for the kids, up to 6,000. So with the most of us older fellows here, this puts us up anywhere around 3,000 to 4,000 feet, except on rare occasions when something is spotted that we need to check out. And well, actually the only two significant things worth mentioning here that I've seen are the one Viet Cong that was killed and was stretched out on a small runway way up north of here, closer to the Cambodian border. And the other one was the Huey Cobra that I seen yesterday that was, had received enemy weapons fire from the ground, and he had crashed and pretty well tore up an airplane or a helicopter. And I understand from asking questions around that the only thing that was, it broke the two fellows, broke both the pilot and the co-pilot's back, so they came out of that pretty lucky. Things have seemed to quieten down quite a bit here. But like I say, the only action we ever see is on a flight line, and that's aircraft going in and aircraft coming out or going out, and this is a daily activity and a 2,400, a 24 hours a day operation. Most of my aircraft leave in the morning early and come back late at night, so that pretty much leaves the bulk of the work up to specific hours of let's say 5:30 till 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, and from about 4:30 to about 8 o'clock at night. Meanwhile, during the day, you try to police up small areas on the flight line that need work on, and at the present time, we pretty well have all of our areas set up real fine, and our number of aircraft has gone from a rather large number for a platoon to a not so large number for a platoon, so we're pretty fortunate in that area. We still have a sufficient number of personnel to handle the load, and I might add some of the better individuals that I've ever worked with in the Army. Some of the soldiers that I have here come through the school. The noise you just heard there was one of the guys sticking his head in the door, hollering something. I don't know. I went to the door, and he'd already gone, so I don't really know what he wanted. I'll have to go find out in a minute. Sergeant Larkin, the fellow that lives just next door to me here, just received his orders, and he is going to, you guessed it, Fort Rucker. That's one of his old hangouts, though, so that's where he wanted to go. I hope I don't get sent back down south this time. I hope I don't. I have put in my dream sheets, and this is exactly what it is, a dream sheet, requesting that I be assigned somewhere up on the eastern coast, and more specifically Fort Eustis, or up in Maryland. Either of those assignments wouldn't be too bad at this time. At least it would keep us up in that general neck of the woods. Being all the way down in Alabama uh, is just too far to travel when it comes time to uh, go see your folks or go see my folks. Just makes too long a trip. So I don't know. Let's wait and see what happens on this bit, and maybe we'll come out on the better end of it after all. A lot of fellows here are getting assigned directly to Alaska and Germany from here. Boy, I sure as heck hope that don't happen to me. If it does, I'll have to go down to Washington while I'm home and see what I can do about getting reassigned. Oh, what a day. I'll sure be glad when that happens. Reassignment. Wow. Never another one like this. Boy, this, I'm telling you, and you just wouldn't believe it. We're fortunate here. About 90% of the time we have sufficient water to take baths in, and we do have adequate quarters, whereas if you go into some of the other companies out in the field that are actually doing the combat, they don't have anything. And by this, I mean absolutely nothing. They had a tent and a piece of equipment that they are operating, and that's about it. And you can sure tell it when they come in from the field. Maybe the TV news shows scraggly looking, scroungy, dirty, filthy troops fighting in the field. I know the ones we see here are not really as bad as, I mean, I'm talking about the troops now. The ones we see coming from the field are not near, well, they're not like the ones you see on TV. I guess they get all these guys to shave and dress up a little bit before they take TV news cameras out into the field with them. I sure pity those fellows. They're the ones fighting the brush, and believe me, Kentucky has no brush compared to this country here. They've got 3 layers of vegetation over the ground in most of the jungle areas, and in our aerial observation of these areas, we can't see anything anyway. One pilot that I was with in approximately 6 months of flying, the only thing that he has seen significant was a couple of Viet Cong on the ground running around. So just to give you some idea of what it's like when you're flying, you really can't see the ground. There's no place to there's no place to see through. Well, how did I get off of assignments onto aerial observation again? I guess I'm trying to get my air medal, huh? No, I don't need an air medal, really. To get an air medal, you've got to have 100 flying hours, and, well, I'm not ready yet, huh? You know how I love to fly, though, but here it's not healthy, really. So I usually try to stay on the ground, keep up my aircraft the best I can, and work from there just to see what all comes about. Well, tomorrow is Saturday. Nothing new. Last week we worked 7 full days. This week, maybe, just maybe, I'll get off Saturday. Not Saturday, but Sunday. I hold formations 6 days a week. Sunday I go down to work about 8 o'clock. Check in, see how things are going, and straighten out anything that's confused. So, who knows? At the present time, it seems that I might be able to get off at least early Sunday. And what do you do when you get off? Well, you could take a shower, come in here into my room, turn on the tape recorder and listen to some hillbilly music, and try to write. This is about the only time I get to write. By the time I get off at night, check my distribution for the day, find out what my troops are supposed to do tomorrow, and get a shower. It's bedtime, and sometimes late bedtime by this time. And now we're getting around to bed checks every night on the soldiers, so I think very shortly this war will be over. And very shortly this tape is going to hit the end here, I believe. So let me change over to the other side about this time, and hope this thing comes out much better than the other one did, okay? I'll see you in about 05 on the other side, huh? Bye. Well, about 05 is past, and I'm back on again. Uh, I ran some of this tape through the recorder, the two-track job here that I had, and it seemed like in the background I can pick up your voice and Irene's voice again, and this I didn't quite understand. It doesn't come out on my recorder at all, but when I go back to that two-track there, it comes through. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem is. But at any rate, I think it's going to come out a whole lot better than the other one. Well, tell Mr. Sciotti that he and Elizabeth were the only ones that sounded natural on the tape, and of course, well, that motor mouth kid of ours, Deborah, yeah, she sounded like her old self, a mile a minute. I wonder who she takes that from, huh? Speaking of the kids, how are they doing? Hope they are enjoying school. I bet they do. Well, anyway, I'm glad that they are doing fine in school, and you and her don't argue so much like you used to, huh? Just tell her what's straight and help her in any way you can. Wish I could be around to help her also. Not that I know more or anything of that nature, but all the help she can get, I'm sure she'll use. And Todd, glad to hear that he likes school, and hope that it lasts. He's subject to rebel from that school idea here one of these days, and maybe he won't like it as well as he thinks he does. And I guess most of all, I'm glad that you like the house. Really, I didn't have a chance to get used to it. Maybe within the near future, I'll be able to spend at least a couple nights there and see how things work out from there. Have you got the kitchen sink fixed yet? If not, don't worry about it. What's 6 more months? It's been 6 weeks now, hasn't it? Seems like it has. You've been talking about it for quite a while. And something that I've been talking about for quite a while, Mrs., is your picture. You have not, repeat, have not sent me that picture yet. Pretty soon I'm going to give up. Now, get up, get out, and send it, all right? You're about to make me mad in that area again. Well, I guess it's my fault, though. I didn't bring one with me, huh? Well, you don't know what I got, do you? In the picture line, babe, in the picture line. Okay, please send me a picture, okay? And one of the house, too. The one that you sent, taken by the kitchen door with the 3 kids, doesn't really show the house. It looks good from that angle, but I would like a picture of the whole house. And most of all, I want the picture of you. The pictures of the kids, they all look good. Toddy in the red pants and green shirt looks real fine. Deborah with her white rabbit. And old serious Joe sitting in a high chair. Acts like he's just fixing to say something. And Todd with that false grin on his face. Yeah, sure wish I could be with the kids. Well, to your letter, well, I've still got plenty of tape here. And you always just write to let us know that you're doing okay. Fine. Well, we can say the same here. As long as we live from day to day in this area, we consider ourselves as doing fine. It seems that the weather there has been somewhat similar to the weather here, very hot, so I guess we're about even on that score. You're right, 6 months is half a term. One of the guys here I think the fellow I just talked to you about going to Rucker got a 4-day drop a while ago. In other words, instead of him leaving on the 16th, he'll be leaving on the 12th. So maybe I'll get a 30-day drop, huh? Ain't no way. They like me too much here. Well, I guess you've gotten a letter by now that I got my Bronze Star for achievement, and this is what was for the effort that the individuals that I have put out in reference to the inspections that we had in the past 3 or 4 months. Really, I don't deserve it. They do. But I guess we'll see how I thought that that was the way it went. Well, so much for that anyway. You start a 2-page letter one day, and 3 nights later you finish it. I don't do that. When I get to sit down, I'll close it out, even if it's 1 page. So, but one every week and a half to 2 weeks is not enough, is it, huh? So let's try to write more, and don't get accustomed to taping, because I've had the darndest time trying to erase both sides of this tape, and I'm not exactly sure that it's going to come out exactly right this time. So maybe we'll have to buy a cassette type, a small radio type tape recorder next time. We don't have to worry with this big stuff. Sorry about the music bit. Usually the only thing that's any good is what comes through. Music. Yes, we have a radio station here. It is a Armed Forces Vietnamese network, and they run hillbilly music from I think it's 4 in the evening until 6 in the evening, and then early morning from about 5 to 6 o'clock. So I usually catch some of the morning and none of the afternoon music. And a guy across the street here had a bunch of hillbilly music, and I've taped what I have from him. I've got 1 album of Glenn Campbell, and some scattered throughout the tape. The other tapes that I have. Mrs. Shadle, the gal from Tremont, Sergeant Shadle is here. He runs our operations section here. And he says that she was coming down to see you. Maybe she didn't. Well, don't worry about it anyway, huh? The suit, well, I liked it. I thought I did. After I tried it on, it'll do, I guess, in a pinch. But you mentioned your dad getting a suit, 36 waist and a 28 length with a cuff. Yes, it can be done, but I would recommend that that your dad go down to the tailor shop somewhere there and have his measurements taken down, and then I can give those measurements to the people here and get him a suit. Now, there's one thing that I don't understand, and that's something you said about having to pay $12 for customs. That I'm not sure about. I don't understand. Perhaps you can explain that to me a little bit later. Money? Well, sore subject. Don't send any money for the China. When I get a chance to get the PX, I'll go ahead and order your China, and I'll send it not COD. How's that, okay? I don't know when it'll be. Don't expect it in the near future, and it will probably be for maybe in time for Christmas. I get to the PX about once a month. Usually I send money along with fellows that are going to the PX and tell them to pick me up whatever I need, shower shoes, what have you. Well, thanks for the pictures. Your Papa and Mama look good on theirs. Oh, Papa and Mama, oh yeah. You better take care of that, miss. That is the only picture that I have of my grandparents, and I am really proud of that, and I want it kept up away from the kids where it won't get torn up, okay? And speaking of torn up, how is my automobile? Torn up, huh? Yeah, well, if you'd learned to drive, you wouldn't have any problem. On second thought, if you had something to drive, you wouldn't have any problem, huh? Well, that's a pretty good old car. It's not a long ways, but it's just like a woman. You got to treat it right to make it work right. And you don't treat it right. You growl the gears, ride the clutch, so suffer. What did you say about station wagons? Well, maybe. A big maybe. Depends on what happens in the near future and how things work out. I've thought about going to this walk school, uh, very briefly really, about going to walk school, and I'm not exactly sure if I want to go at the present time, because when this war, when this little operation here is over with, uh, there's going to be a drastic reduction in Army strength, and I don't think that I'm ready to retire right now. I don't believe they'll let me retire with 11 years and some few months in the service, so I might have to remain here as an enlisted status until see what's going to happen. With the current trend, I should be able to at least make E8 by the time I get out, and this wouldn't be too terribly bad at a young 27 years old. No, really, I'd be 38, you know that. I'm not getting any younger, but not many of us will see 19 again. How's Irene? Tell her I said hi, and I'm still looking for a man here. I got one here, but he doesn't speak too much English, and this might be to her advantage. She wouldn't have to listen to his lip then. And your mom and dad, how are they doing? I understand that your dad is taking my place with the boys. Well, that's fine. At least they've got someone to talk to, run around with when I can't be with them. And maybe this will help them out in some areas. I assume that you are taking them to Sabbath school each week. And I really can't see any reason why you shouldn't take them or couldn't find time to take them. I think it's good. And I'm really proud of all of you. Boy, it's getting hot again. I had to turn the fan off because the fan was blowing a whistling noise through the mic here. And now I'm drenched with sweat. Sweat's running down my face into the mic. So pretty soon here, well, I don't only have much more anyway. I'll have to turn this fan back on and air this room out a little bit and try to take a shower. And by that time, it'll be about probably, see, it's 10:15 now, so it will be about 10:35 before I can get a shower, get back into bed for the night. After I check my night crew out and see how they're doing. I have people working. I work all day, and then I supervise the night crew that works at night, so I'm constantly on the go or constantly on call because normally once I get in bed at night, I'm in bed for the evening because I check things out pretty thoroughly before I go to bed, and I don't have any problems after that. Haven't heard from anyone in quite a while, and that includes you until I receive this tape. I guess everyone is doing okay. Donald sent me a box of chocolate candy here a couple weeks ago. I haven't heard from Finley in 2 or 3 months. Got a letter from Donnie about maybe a month and a half ago. He's doing okay. And the last I heard, Graylin was still home and considering going into the Army. I'm sure that he's not sure what he wants to do at this stage. And with the current unrest in the nation, it seems that most young individuals are fall in this category. Tell Susie and Harold, yeah, I think so, that I said hello, congratulations, and I wish them the best of luck, and to play it cool. Well, how can you play it cool when it's so hot outside, huh? And Brenda, how's she? Tell Bud, Senior, Junior, big bud, little bud, middle-sized bud, and everyone I said hello, and keep the home fires burning because Watashi, that's me, that's the name I've picked up since I've been here, Watashi, will be home in the not too distant future, be home at least for a while anyway. Normal rotation in the States now is running about 9 months to a year, so you can never be sure. Well, I'm sure of one thing. This tape is about hit the end here, and just 2 or 3 things I'd like to say before it does, and one of those is that I love you. I miss all of you very, very much, and I hope to be able to return home to you safely in the not too distant future. Even less than 6 months if this troop withdrawal holds up, and well, other than that, what else is there to say? Be good, take care of the kids, and always remember that I love you very, very much. One final bye, and take care, okay? Bye now. Tape a letter of home business once again to see if this one comes out any better than the other one did. Hope the other one turned out to where at least you could read it and or hear it, and that you enjoy it, huh? Well, I wish I could enjoy something around here. Well, as long as we are living, we really don't have any complaints here. Things are not really as bad as you might think they are, but yet sometimes they get pretty annoying and long, tiresome days. Makes a person cross, and all the time I feel bad, really. Seems like most of the time that I've got, would you believe, sinuses over here, and the other portions of the time I'm just about eat up with the rash or heat. The pictures of the kids are real fine. I really enjoyed those. I got them tacked up on my wall. I was rather disappointed, though, that I didn't get an individual picture of you. Looks like you might not have gained any weight yet. Still the skinny mini, huh? Well, I tried to fatten you up once. It didn't work, so I can give it up now. At any rate, wish I could be with you and at least enjoy my skinny mini and our babies. And it won't be too long in the future. Would you believe about 167 days from today, October 14th, 1970, we might get to spend another couple weeks together again. Who knows when the next, when, or where our next assignment will be. I, again, hope to get stationed on the East Coast so that we won't have to move, and New Cumberland would be hard to take, wouldn't it? No such luck. And not the Gap. I sure don't want to get stationed out there. Want to bet I don't? Yeah, there's no possibility there, I think, and in all probability, I'll try to get sent down to Fort Eustis, or Fort Eustis, I guess is the proper term. I have been on a spending spree today, and day of getting to go to the tailor shop, and while I was there, I ordered your father's suit with a 36-inch waist, a 28-inch length with cuff, brown, the same as mine. And yes, while I was there, I also ordered, well, first of all, I looked at a sports jacket, and I liked the sports jacket. And then I thought, why not get the sports jacket and a pair of pants to go with it? So I ended up buying another suit, and don't ask me why either. Well, at least this makes me two, so I guess I can quit there. It'll take about 5 to 6 weeks to get them, and I will not send them home. I don't quite understand this customs tax yet, and then again, I think I do, so maybe I will send them home. At any rate, wait until I get them, and we'll work something out from there. Well, how are all of you doing? Your mom, Dad, the neighbors? How is Mrs. Schiotti and Mr. Schiotti? Tell them I said hi, or if you're listening, Phil, hi. And it's nice of them to let you use their tape recorder to listen to garbage like this. And if it becomes annoying, or if you desire, it can be discontinued. But at any rate, don't worry about me here. What else can I say? Things come and things go, and everybody goes. So, well, anyway, let's drop that subject. I'll just keep in mind that March, the last of March of next year is a long time away, really. Then again, not too long. Well, hon, I am answering the letter that I did not get this week. I was rather disappointed. I thought that I would. Tell my babies that I said hi, that I love them, I love you too, and be good, and I will see you. How's your dad?
Well, I think this is track 3 of the.
Well, prices have gone up this past month or so, so maybe we would have been better off buying an electrically heated home instead of a fuel oil job. Do you have any problem with hot water there? Do you always have enough hot water, or do you have to wait on the hot water sometime? Well, just save enough for me a hot bath when I come home. And I'll probably need about 3 baths, the one right after the other one, to get all of this crud off the surface. Sometimes it's hot. Sometimes, or most of the time I should say, it's very cold. The water's cold, that is. Today, something's wrong. We got hot water and cold water, so I've taken 2 showers today, and probably the last hot shower you get for a week or two. So, as the water is available, or when it's available, you should take advantage. Of it then. How is Bud Snavely? Guess he's sure getting tired of working around our house there, and I guess your dad is too, for that matter. What about what's his name? The other Bud Grimes. How are they doing? How is Susie and Harold getting along? And evidently Brenda isn't married yet, huh? Tell Irene she better hurry up. She's gonna lay around until it's too long, or it's too late, I should say. I'm sitting here trying to watch issues and answers and try to lip read what they're talking about, and it seems they're talking about the commando raid that we sent into Cambodia. Well, those things go on every day, even though the papers don't pick them all up. I have 2 aircraft that fly into that area every day, or in that vicinity, I should say. And I understand that the Air Force does a bit of flying in that general area too. Things are about normal around here. There's no big action in our area at the present time, and we're not expecting any, though. Well, tomorrow is Monday. Wow, for another week. One more week. At the end of this week will be the 12th. Only 3 more weeks of December. And then January, February, and March. So the way I look at that, I have 3 more paydays here, and probably get paid for March in a state somewhere. There'll probably be some rough times ahead for you and I and the kids if we have to move someplace and getting settled in school again, and me getting used to a new job or something of that effect again. And now, when you know it, my cigarettes are all the way on the other side of the room, and can't hardly reach them, so I'm going to have to shut you down here for just a minute and crawl over there and get some, and I'll be right back, okay? Stand by. Well, seems as though on the tape here it sounds a little bit garbled in the background. This could be from perhaps because I'm talking so low in my throat, or another electronic malfunction. I'm not too sure. I think you can understand it though, and if it comes out so that you can understand it. I'll tell you what, baby, you just send it back and guaranteed money back refund. And if it don't work the first time, we'll try it again, huh? Occasionally, you might have some volume control trouble with this. Different volume levels, particularly where I stop and start all over again. So, or if it's where I stopped and like cigarette breaks and latrine breaks and things like this. So you may have to stay a hold of volume control before it blows you out of the room or goes completely blank and you can't hear it. It seems that there's about 75, 80 more feet on this side, and I've about bush, so probably leave this as a 3-tape or a 3-track tape instead of trying to fill the other side, or maybe I can fill the other side with music off of the FM stereo bit. At least I'll try and see if I can get some FM music, and if I can get all the static out of the radio. I'll tape track 4 and mainly stereo type music, and it won't be stereo, it'll be monaural, because if I tape stereo, I'm going to cut the other track of this side completely off, and it'll be abruptly cut short by the music. So maybe I'll just tape it in monaural. I don't know what time. This is what they consider the Tet offensive in Vietnam. I'm sure you'll hear it on TV. The only thing I can tell you is don't worry about it, because, well, why should you? Huh? Things will always work out, it seems, either one way or the other, and there's nothing you can do about it by worrying about it. And 2, you will play the right channel, and here track 3 and 4, you will play the left channel. I think that's correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. How are the tires on that piece of junk you were driving around there? Worn out, I guess, huh? I'll bet you folks have a car run to death. What kind of cars your dad have now? And, well, we know Bud's got a Cadillac or a Buick. That's all he drives, so. No big deal there, huh? Did, what's his name, Harold, is in the Air National Guards, I assume, right? Did he go to, was it Thailand, or wherever the heck he's going? Thailand. Haha. Anyway, how are he and Susie getting along? Just fine, I guess, huh? Is he working in Lebanon now, or is he working where his father is from, or wherever he originally came from? I don't know where that was at. What's Bob and Bill doing now in the summertime? I guess pretty soon they're getting ready to get out of school, aren't they? I just got a letter from Mark yesterday, Reva and Marcus back home, and they were telling me that Anita would be 12 years old shortly. Doesn't seem possible that she could be 12 years old, because not long ago I used to sit on the bridge and write Marcus letters to send to Reva. It doesn't seem like it's been 12 years ago, so I guess time is flying faster than we realize, and the 115 or 114 days that I've got left to do here will be up before we know it, and we'll be back with you and the kids again, huh? Well, I tell you, the Army isn't that bad. The only thing that I do hate about it very, very much is being separated from you and the kids so often, and for such long periods of times. Now, you take it, if I get assigned to Germany, that's 24 months of separation. Wow, I just assumed to spend a year here than to spend 2 years there without you and the kids. Oh, you want to go to Germany, huh? Well, we'll talk about that if I do get assigned to Germany, and let's hope that I do not get assigned to Germany, because definitely I do not want to go back over there. For one thing, we wouldn't have a dime left when we left there. I know that for sure, because you'd have to buy all completely new furniture when you left there. Well, one of these days maybe you'll have something that you can be proud of. Maybe you can even have a husband that you'll be proud of one of these days. Who knows? Heck, people are dying every day. I understand there was 900 and something that died over the Thanksgiving holidays in the States. That's more than we had died or killed here in the war in the last 2 or 3 weeks. So there's ways to die other than from an enemy sniper's bullet or a mortar round or a rocket attack or something of this nature. What's the football game this afternoon? Let's see who played. I forgot who played. Anyway, that killed part of the afternoon. The rest of the afternoon I got out and played some ball. Taking off today and just trying to relax, play cool, get a little exercise, get some of this midriff bulge taken off before I get ready to get home. So I wanted to pick me up a pretty hefty PT program between now and March 29th so I can get back in shape. So when I get home, I'll be squared away again. Huh? Well, I'll think about that.
Quang ngàn cung cắm dấu chân người rồi, bên trai đàn gái nhìn nhau mỉm cười. Có chàng đường dần xa xôi, chầu cầu đem đến chào lời liên tục chim sẽ thành mối. Thỏ vàng ngơ ngác cây đa ngập ngùi, dương gian hỏi cưới hằng nga chịu rồi. Chú cười còn gì mà mong, từ lâu ôm ấp phương hằng bây giờ nhìn người yêu đi lấy chồng. Trăng ơi, nhìn năm phòng không lẻ bóng, đêm nay trăng mới có chồng, chú về người đẹp hay không? Đường minh hoàng có lên trăng, giờ đây tháng 8 hết mùa cho trẻ chơi trăng mua lần bập bùng. Chàng con gái thứ năm ngọc hoàng, hôm nay nhận lễ cầu hôn người phàm. Thế là gì hàng sang ngang, quần tiền nam nữ hai hàng đưa người đẹp trời dương gian với chàng. Quang ngàn cung cắm dấu chân người rồi, bên trai đàn gái nhìn nhau mỉm cười. Có chàng từ miền xa xôi, sầu cầu đem đến chào lời liên tục tiền chim xe thành mối. Thỏ vàng ngơ ngác cây đa ngậm ngùi, dương gian hỏi cưới hằng nga chịu rồi. Chú cười còn gì mà mong, từ lâu ôm ấp phương hằng bây giờ nhìn người yêu đi lấy chồng. Trăng ơi, nhìn năm phòng không lẻ bóng, đến nay trăng mới có chồng, chú về người đẹp hay không? Đường minh hoàng có lên trăng, giờ đây tháng 8 hết mùa cho trẻ chơi trăng mua lần bập bùng. Chàng con gái thứ năm ngọc ngòa, hôm nay nhận lễ cầu hôn người phàm. Thế là chỉ hàng sang ngang, quần tiền nam nữ hai hàng đưa người đẹp chơi dương gian với chàng. Chàng ơi, hôm nay chàng đã có chồng rồi chàng ơi.
Well, what do you think of the Vietnamese music and sound of this tape? And don't ask me what it said, because I don't have any idea. The only words I understand in Vietnamese are "choi oi," friend, and That's about it. Didi Mao, Lide, uh, well, the first one, Didi Mao means get out of here, Lide means come here. I don't know, you pick up the slang and a word here and a word there. I don't think I could ever uh, learn to speak it like some of these GIs. Well, I've seen one fellow here, the colored fellow, that could really speak the Vietnamese language. I mean, he was real good. Oftentimes wish that I could. Then you can communicate with fellows. We've got the Arvin soldiers here. They've got an aircraft company just on the other side of the wire from where we're at here, and they're, well, they would like to be a friendly bunch of fellows, I'm sure, but we do have the language barrier. They don't understand any English. We don't understand any Vietnamese, so we stand there and look, smile, curse each other out. uh, that's about the way it goes. Really, no, they're a pretty fine bunch of fellows, and they're getting hurt pretty bad in most of the action here in Vietnam. Well, Cartwright, uh, yeah, Cartwright. What's the name of that program, Bonanza or something like that? It's coming on TV now, and it's another rerun of the same thing they had last week. Oh, on American Sportsman today, they were shooting geese. Where? In Lebanon and Lancaster. Not geese, listen to me. Not geese, pheasants. Phil Harris and I don't know, maybe it was Kurt Gowdy or some guy anyway. Phil Harris and some guy were shooting pheasants in Lebanon and Lancaster County there, or in that general area, and old Phil shot an albino. In case you don't know what an albino is, that's a white one, and they're rare, so they were joking and carrying on about that. And then, of course, the other portion of the program was a guru or something. It's something similar to a ram. I'm not exactly sure where they were located when they shot it. Last week they were fishing, and this guy caught a 1,200 and some pound. I think he said it was a blue mackerel or something of this nature. He fought it something like 14 hours, and that's a little bit too long for me. I'd rather go about 10, 15 pound and fight them 20, 30 minutes. It's more fun than it is to fight one for 14 hours. Yeah. Well, it's getting well up into the evening now. As a matter of fact, would you believe it's 8:15, and today's not the 8th, is it? No, I bumped my watch, and my watch is running ahead 2 days now, so it'll take me about 20 minutes to reset this thing all over again. There's automatic jobs, and the date changes, every time you bump somebody or anything. And to get it changed back, then you got to run it plumb through and back up to the day that you want. And Sunday, the way I look at it, was not the 8th, which is what this Waterbury watch said. One of these days I want to buy me a watch to give thousands of dollars for it when I get rich. If I ever get rich. Haha. Well, your letter was short, so I really don't have too much to say. The only thing I keep repeating that I'm doing well, as could be expected, and that you shouldn't worry about me. After all, I'm just another fellow. I'm sure that you can find better ones with ease, and particularly after you draw all my insurance money. I sound garbled in some of this, and I know one good reason is because I've got a terrible cold, both head cold and in my throat. I'm steady coughing and hacking. Now tell me it's cigarettes. Yeah, I know. No, it's not. It's really this cold I have. I better take me some more aspirins, and I think today is about the 6th, isn't it? Yeah. Just got my watch round around here to the 6th of December, which is where I'm going to leave it. Maybe it won't bump it anymore now. The dates won't change on me. 6th of December. Oh, that leaves 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 days until Christmas. All the Christmas shopping done already? Wow, wish I had mine. Wish I had the money to buy some with, as a matter of fact. I am considered broke. B-R-O-K-E. I'm going to send you money tomorrow. I'll send you $50 tomorrow, I hope. And after that, I'll have about $12. That's all I need. I haven't bought any cigarettes yet. Matter of fact, I haven't been to PX in about 3 weeks. Gotta get a couple of Christmas cards, and that'll be all I need at that time. So why should I keep the money? I'm sure that you could use it over the Christmas holidays. Well, I think I'll see if I can find a little FM stereo music here, American Style USA, and see what you think about it, okay? Hang loose there, Matt. Well, there's nothing on yet except the sports news, and all day long I've been trying to find out who won the Texas and Arkansas game. Everybody was kind of thinking that Texas would win. Every time I think of Arkansas and the Razorbacks, I think of Dutch and Buddy. I wrote them a letter last week, and after about 4 months, maybe they'll answer it. Maybe they're still there. Who knows? Did you ever write them? And if so, did you ever get an answer from them? They were nice people, and I'd like to run into them again sometime. But you never know. Maybe never see them again, huh? That's the way it is when you have to travel around, meet friends, lose friends, make new friends, lose old friends, and so forth. I just got up again and drive another nail in my coffin, or another way to put it would be to have another cigarette. We're about to hit the end of this tape, and I'm sure you're getting bored by now. I've listened to me rattle on and on. I should really think maybe that just the sound of my voice should thrill you, huh? Yeah, I'll bet you it does. Now that dirty bum, he's drunk again. Yeah, he wants to go fishing. If you go fishing, I'm going home to Mama. Pack your bags. You don't have too far to run now, will you? Just out the back door, out the front door, out the kitchen door, through the lot and across the fence, and you're in Mama's house. Well, I am going fishing when I get home. You can bet on that. So is Todd. He keeps Scott at home. We use him for fish bait, huh? And me and your dad and Todd will have to go out and maybe spend the night somewhere. If we can find us another cot, get that camping stove. I don't even know where any of my junk is. At home. You probably got it all stashed away somewhere back in a far corner. You always throw my stuff around, huh? Yeah, well, you can't throw me around, you know that. And on second thought, maybe you could throw me around. You want to try it? Well, we'll talk about that when I get home. I need thrown around right now. By you, that is, not by anybody else. I do love you, Marianne, regardless of what I may say or insinuate at any time. You know that I love you so very, very much. If I didn't, I wouldn't have put up with your big mouth and roaring around the last 8 years, right? You're right. Take care of the kids for me. Or should I say for us. Again, take it easy. Don't get excited or nothing like this. And, well, what else can I say? Except I love you and hope to see you in a very, very short time. And a mini wife, you better believe it. I love them. I love you anyway, but I got to see you in a mini dress sometime. Have you got one yet? No, you won't need any at all for a while, I'm sure, but well, after the ball, it'd be nice to see what you look like in a mini dress. Well, I don't think we've got too many more wraps of this tape left here. And if like they say, if you can't fill a tape one way, fill it another one, huh? Tell Todd and Scott that I said to be good boys. Tell Debbie that I said to be good and help you in whatever she can do. Give my love to the baby, and, well, as a matter of fact, give my love to all the kids. Tell them I said hi, that I love them very, very much, and to be good for Daddy while he's away.
Uh, Other than that, you'll have to take care of your discipline problems yourself. I've got my own. I've got a buck sergeant now that's been gone for 2 days or 3 days. He was supposed to have been gone about 12 hours, so I've got to turn him in AWOL now and try to see that he gets an Article 15 or something of this nature. So, you see, I've got problems also, along with 12 airplanes to fly all the time. Well, this is about the end of this, so I better shut it down here by saying I love you very, very much. And please write more often, even if it's just a line, okay? So, goodbye for now, love, and I'll see you soon, okay? Bye-bye. Ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas. Realize that I do miss you and the kids, or if you realize just uh, only how much I miss you and the kids. And your question here, if you only could face my problems at the present time. Look, babe, maybe you have problems, and I'm sure you do. However, uh, I'm sure that you will do the best you can with them, and don't let your temper and who knows. It'll get better, I'm sure. When, I'm not sure about that, but it will get better. Thanksgiving dinner for 9 people, huh? Yeah, well, I hope your chow is better than ours. Our chow is getting terrible, and that's using the word lightly, I guess. Uh, and this is all 3 meals a day, not only one meal. Thanksgiving dinner was not too bad. It was cold, and it was, I guess what they call pre-cooked turkey or some garbage like that. And it wasn't tasty at all. And actually, nobody even realized it was Thanksgiving here. It was business as usual, flying as usual, maintenance as usual, and the regular garbage that goes on in an outfit such as this. I was real glad to hear that the kids enjoyed Mom and Dad's visit up there, and I just wonder what Mom and Dad's reaction to Lebanon was, and I'm real anxious to get a letter from home because I'm sure Mom is going to have a few things to say, right? Yeah, you know how women are. Gadabouts, talkabouts, like I often say, diarrhea of the mouth. And you said they went back Saturday morning, but you didn't say when they got there, so I will assume they only stayed one night, which is probably more than Dad wanted to stay because he's a homebody. And, well, Mom is also, for that matter. Glad to hear that he's looking better, getting fatter, and you say off of his diet, and he hasn't drank any since I left. Well, um, in some areas. Uh, Says you love me at times, and I can hardly believe you're away so far from us, huh? Well, you love me at times. I wonder what time that is. That must be when you get your allotment check, first of every month, huh? Yeah, I'll give you a break one of these days. And my 2 short notes of 18th and 23rd. Confusing life. Amen. I don't understand that either. Back to the suits. The greenish suit, the one I ordered for, yeah, the one that I did not order. I ordered a brown one instead, and they sent it in a greenish color. Now, that was for your dad. Uh, Needless to say, that suit will be too big for me, particularly the pants. So, tomorrow I'll go back and tell them to send that one back to the company and to reorder the brown one. And over the Christmas holidays, I'm sure this is going to take, possibly another uh, 30 to 45 days to get it, but at least maybe I'll get it before I get home. Uh, sure wish that I could have gotten it there before Christmas, but you know how things go when you order and get what you didn't order. Okay, for the kids' pictures, I thought they were real good. Scott seems as though his was more or less, well, not a relaxed picture, but Oh, heck, how would you pronounce it? How would you say it? Just seems like he's got that blank, faraway look in his eye, and, I don't know. Uh, they're all good anyway. Take care of my cold, oh mercy. I've had a cold, I've had sinus trouble. My ears are still, goofed up. I went to the, doctor on, I guess it was Wednesday. He looked at them and he says that there was nothing wrong with them. However, I know better, I'm sure, because my ears run at night when I lay on them, and they're not as bad as they were. I've been eating APCs, which are nothing more than a painkiller, and they seem to be getting better. At least they're not hurting the way that they were, and I don't have these lumps in my throat anymore. So evidently they're getting better. So your throat's acting up too, huh? Well, you always did have a cold problem in the throat area. Do the best you can with it, and if you get sick, go to the doctor. That's all I can tell you. Burnt your ears. Burned the top of my ear. I'll be darned. That's what you get for going to sleep with a hot water pad under your ear. The weather here hadn't been too hot the last 2 days. As a matter of fact, it's been considerably cooler than it has been in the past. And maybe we're getting around now to get some livable weather. Boy, I'm telling you, this weather sure is hot. There's no doubt about that. I think I told you in a letter that I did weigh myself at the dispensary the other day and that I'd gotten up to 162 pounds. Accurate weight, well, I don't know. But that's what the scale said, so somewhere in that area. Most of it, again, in the midsection. And can say that hair doesn't weigh anything. What I'm trying to say, baby, is that I got it all cut off again. Down to a crew cut, about a 1/4 inch long all over. So that may be one of the reasons I haven't sent you any pictures lately. Since when is 30 middle age? Well, I don't know. You're only as old as you feel, and now you're the ones complaining about feeling weak, tired, give out, sleepy all the time. Not I, so I don't know. Maybe you could answer that. Is 30 middle age? Oh, the kid's getting off, huh? Well, we don't get off for any holidays here. This war, whatever you want to call it, goes on day after day with seemingly no breaks at all. Had another aircraft with holes in it last week. Yeah, they were bullet holes. They weren't rocks or anything of that nature. So, other than that, well, we're not having any significant action here. We haven't been mortared in the last 2-3 weeks, I guess, maybe even longer. I don't quite remember when the last one we had. We do expect heavy action over the New Year's holiday, and this is what they consider the Tet Offensive in Vietnam. I'm sure you'll hear it on TV. The only thing I can tell you is don't worry about it, because, oh, well, why should you, huh? Things will always work out, it seems, either one way or the other, and there's nothing you can do about it by worrying about it. Roll around, and who knows? May even get home sooner than that, though I seriously doubt it, and I'm not counting on it. Some people are getting drops here of these 15 days, 5 days, these 15 days, 5 days. And some people are being held over their normal zeros, so don't get any hopes up about me getting home early. I haven't. And the only thing I can tell you is when I get home, I'll be there. And, well, enough in that area, I guess. Glad to hear that Deb's doing well in school. Even though she hasn't got a report card yet, that's what counts. Really, a report card doesn't count. It's what she really knows that counts. And Toddy, yeah, I guess he is a bit bashful, just like his father used to be. I said, used to be? Still am, you know. But he'll get over his bashfulness, I'm sure, in a short while, and after that, who knows? He may be another Einstein. At least we can hope, right? Yeah, he needs me around, I'm sure. Uh, Wish I could be around. And he's stubborn. Well, I know of 2 or 3 other individuals that live at 110 East Poplar that are stubborn, and yeah, I'd have to include you in that too. And I might say stubborn and a little bit hot-tempered, so far as you're concerned. Well, see, you're not going to meet me halfway anywhere, am I? Your question. Well, no. Now, your other question, or your other statement, I should say. Okay, I'm just a sloppy housewife who don't need to enjoy the nicest things in life. Well, what are the nicest things in life? Perhaps you can explain that, because I really don't know. Uh, I could take that as a pun. I don't know. Anyway, uh, when you find out what the nicest things in life are, let me know. That way, maybe we can arrange some of those nicest things in life. Why is everyone getting assigned to Germany? Well, I guess because they need people there, and also because they don't have any areas in the States now that are not overfull of people. As you know, they're pulling a lot of troops back from Vietnam, and they're going to put them somewhere, and where, I'm not exactly sure. So far as my getting assigned back to Fort Rucker, I hope not, because I really don't want to go back there again. Not right now. I'd rather get assigned to New Cumberland, perhaps a National Guard assignment, or I put in for Eustis, Fort Useless. Yeah, that's what they call it anyway, Fort Eustis. And I kindly doubt if I get it, even though it would be nice, huh? Yeah, I got a letter from Drexler last week, and he's going back to Rucker, and I'm probably back to the same branch that he left. Well, hunting season is over before March 29th, so I'm sure that won't be able to do any hunting with you, Pop, but sure would like to do some fishing, so I haven't even seen a fishing pole since I've been here, and that is strange, let me tell you. But when I get home, we'll try to rig us up a little trip somewhere, get him out again. I know he enjoys it, or I feel that he does. He had a real ball with us when we was out on the lake in the boat down there, he and Drexler and I. Glad that they got their furnace in now, and now he won't have to haul the ashes and taking away another of his jobs, so what's he going to do now, huh? Well, things here are in a state that you don't need to worry about. Well, this is track 2 of track 4, and I wonder what kind of a recording set that you fellows have bought now. Sure wish that I had sent the other tape recorder that I had home to you. However, it was torn up at the time I traded it off, and I traded it off for a TV that's well, the picture is not too bad, and the sound's a little bit garbled, but it's something to lay here in this lonely room and look at every now and then. Last night I watched the movie of Darby's Rangers, and I think it was on to about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's not the best one in the world, but it works, so when I leave here I'll pawn it off on somebody else. Well, Christmas time is just around the corner. As a matter of fact, we got about what uh, 14 more shopping days left, something of that nature. A little bit more than that, but anyway, it's getting close. Well, my Christmas shopping is over. Perhaps a better way to say that would be that it never began. I don't have any money to send home. I don't have any presents to send home. I can't come home. So what am I going to do? I will try to get to the post office in the next few days and send you dolls. You can buy for the kids some presents. Because, honey, there's nothing here that can be bought. Sure, in the PX here, they've got, as I say it here, but not here, but down in Saigon, they've got perfume, perfume, perfume. That's all. And perhaps this is mostly for the unmarried fellows here who send their girlfriends or something. But all they've got is imported perfumes. Of course, you've got the jewelry department also that have expensive jewelry, and well, seems like somebody doesn't wear jewelry. So I think the best thing that I could do would be to send you some money, and you could go out and buy what you wanted, whatever that might be. Don't send anything over here at all, nothing, because I don't need it. I got no place to keep it, no place to store it, so just forget that I exist during the holidays and have the best time that you can. I will be thinking of you, you know that. It really hurts sometimes to be away from the kids, knowing that they're there and that they need a daddy to take care of them. But what you gonna do? Another team don't get out until what, 70, April of 73, and no, that's a long time away, so no use speculating farther on that. How is Charlie? Been a long time since you mentioned them in your letter, Charlie and Cass, that is. I just wonder how they're doing and if he's doing any hunting. Hunting season should be in about this time of year. And speaking of hunting, when's the last time you had my guns cleaned? Sure would hate to see my new shotgun rust. The other two I could kind of look over, but sure would hate to find that my new shotgun is rusted all to pieces. So far as my weapon is concerned here, it's a no-no. I cannot get one. Well, to be truthful about it, I don't need one either, do I? Yeah, I knew you'd agree with that, but really I don't, so we'll let that slide from there. Oh, there's not much to talk about. Nothing at all, really. Usually, or occasionally, I should say, I get to the point where I can think of all things to say, all kinds of things to say. I don't write anything down on paper before I start taping to you. I just plug in the old microphone and turn on the set. Whatever rolls out, rolls out. I could ask a million questions. Okay, I'll start. Well, how's the car? How many new bumps has it got? Is the clutch wore out? Automobiles. Ugh. Station wagon. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's see how things work out between now and then. Find out where I get assigned. Some garbage like this, we can make more definite plans than we would right now, would be able to right now. Any plans or actions taken right now may have to be curtailed or canceled in the future, so let's let things slide at the present time and see if we can get along without any great change in the present organization. Well, speaking of organizations, I guess, I don't know. Are you a member of the, what is it, parent-teachers group or class or whatever the heck it is in the school? You said that you had gone out to replace one of the teachers for a while or help one of the teachers for a while. I just wondered if you were involved or working with the teachers in the school occasionally. I guess you are, huh? Well, another drag on my cancer stick here. Yeah, I thought for a while I'd quit smoking, that is. However, I haven't gotten around to it yet. Maybe one of these days, huh? Who knows? When I get to be 110 years old, might as well quit then, huh? Yeah. Well, in Deb's letter, I thought it was real cute. She says, let me get this paper here again. How are you doing today? I am doing fine. How did you like the candy Irene sent you? You tell her that I liked it very, very much, but that I was disappointed that her mother didn't send it instead. She says, excuse any errors, I just don't seem to be myself lately. And that really cracked me up. I thought that was cool coming from an 8-year-old kid. Yeah, I bet she is the Miss Prissy of the block now. And she says that, I hope you like the tape we sent you. I didn't. We all are very lonely without you here. And she says she also had a good time while the McQuinns were up. Tell her that I think her writing is plain. However, I think if she took more time and more flair, I think she is forcing the pencil instead of letting the pencil skip lightly over the paper. It looks like a boy's writing, and this is why I say she's forcing the pencil. A little less pressure, I believe, and a little more flair and dexterity with the fingers would make her writing seem more classy, really. It's good, though, and she's doing a good job. She's learning very quickly. I can see that already. She did misspell one word in here, though. Let me see if I can find which one it was. Oh, yeah, on Mondays, ask her if that should be capitalized. And she's got one word here of and, A-N-D, that looks like N-A-N-D. And perhaps that was just a hasty spelling that she put in there. I see she's done some erasing, but all in all, it looks real good. I'm proud of it. And tell her in her letter writing that she should also have the date block in the top right-hand corner. Just had to take a break and take that 15-minute stroll out to the farm-type outhouse. We've been having some terrible problems with water around here, and what we're having to do now is to haul our own water for the company to utilize for taking showers, shavings, washing clothes, and what have you. As a matter of fact, the equipment I had on the flight line for washing aircraft has now been sent up to the motor pool to be utilized for hauling water for the company. So now I will not have any way to wash my aircraft and keep them clean. I'm down to 12 airplanes now, where I did have 19 at one time. And needless to say, I'm also losing some people. I've got one man that's going on leave, let's see, the 9th or 10th, I believe. I'm not exactly sure which. I've got another man just left 2 days ago. And I got another one that's going on leave in January, so pretty soon I'll be getting down to a very minimum amount of individuals to take care of the aircraft on the flight line and what have you. I've got plenty of NCOs now. As a matter of fact, I've got too many. But this gives me a chance to get free more, and I'm not having to work as much as I did in the past. What I'm doing is giving them the jobs to do, and that takes some of the workload off of my back. Well, as long as things go okay, it won't be any problem. When things start to get messed up again, why, I'll be able to take the blame for it, I guess. So I'm going to have to watch them pretty closely and make sure that they don't mess up at all. Well, it's getting about chow time here. I've about run out of things to say. As a matter of fact, it is 10 minutes till 12 on the 6th here, which is a Sunday. And I believe that would make it about 10 minutes till 12 Saturday night, your time. I think there's about a 12-hour time zone difference. So in that case, well, you aren't ready for bed yet, but I guess the kids are in bed. It seems as though you never go to bed before everybody else goes to sleep. And sometime I wonder why, huh? Maybe we know. Who knows? Well, how are you doing? I don't think I've asked that question yet. Are you still nervous, highly strung? Ain't getting gray hairs yet. Let me tell you. Be prepared. I don't have any gray hairs. I just cut them off. Believe me, I think I've aged 10 years in this year over here. Gray hairs, oh, mercy, mercy, mercy. Got plenty of them. Well, yours is red, so I doubt it'll be a while before you get gray hairs. Middle age. Yes, mother dear. How is Scotty doing? Is he still the business type fellow? Knows what he wants, knows when he wants it, and raises Cain if he doesn't get it, huh? Well, maybe with Debbie taking piano lessons. And speaking of piano lessons, how is she coming along? Is she getting better or about the same? Or tell her that she should pick one out just for me when I come home, because I definitely want to hear it. And if she gets good enough, maybe one of these days we can get a piano for the house and put it in the basement. Or are you expecting to move, huh? Well, speaking of moving, I don't know yet. Let's wait till we see where we're going to get it signed. After that, maybe we can make some arrangements. Oh, moving. Well, I sure dread that garbage again, particularly with all the extra junk you've picked up. I don't suppose that you've gotten your china yet. I sure hope you get it in time for Christmas. At least you could have it for Christmas dinner, huh?
Reader tape here that I was so long in getting. I really didn't understand why you would start it on the 12th, and well, I finally received it today, which is Tuesday the 22nd. It's quite a long time without any word at all from home. So I will expect you to do better in the very near future, all right? Okay, let me first of all comment on a few of the items that you have here in your letter. And one of those being the paper that I sent home. Well, yes, I think it is what I want, and I think it is what we need. The pills, it's entirely up to you. I don't think that we can go on with living the kind of life that we've had for the last 4 to 6 years. And for one thing, the mental strain, and for another area, the financial end of supporting more kids. I just don't think you can do it. If you want to go to the doctor in town, and if you want to take the pills, okay, it's entirely up to you. However, once I get home, don't tell me that you're not going to take them. Decide now that you are or are not. And if you are not going to take them, send me that paper back as soon as possible. The paper itself is self-explanatory as to what you should do. And the only thing that you have to do, I recall, is have it signed by a medical doctor and have it notarized by JP or someone in that capacity. Yeah, your life is made of decisions. Well, those are some of the necessary evils of life, and you have to learn to live with them. Says you're having some snow. Well, at the present time, right now, it's raining, and raining rather hard outside, but it just doesn't get cool here. The other morning, I woke up with icicles in the room, and perhaps the reason I had icicles in the room is because it was a little bit cool outside, and the air conditioner was left on overnight. And it says you've got another box started. Well, don't send anything that I have to keep. I really don't care for any more popcorn. Thanks for the effort. And yes, I did get Irene's boxes. And I was rather surprised that, I think I told you that before, that I didn't get them from you, and instead I got them from her. But anyway, thanks. I did get them, and I'm still eating the candy now, and I have one pan of the corn left. Okay. Glad everyone got the cards they sent. I think about 25 in all, which I think is some sort of a record for me. And yeah, I was just reading the next line here. Some bad news. The automobile. Well, just from what you've told me here, that it won't go into gear, I would suspect that either you have stripped low gear out of it. Remember the 58 Ford? Yeah. Or the clutch is burned up, or unadjusted, one or the other. So I'm not sure as to what the trouble is. The only thing I can say is sure going to slow you down a little bit until you can get it fixed, huh? Yeah. Okay, I don't know who can fix it either, so you'll have to take care of that on your own. I'm sure you can do that, so I won't even worry about that. Sorry to hear about the kids being sick. Yeah, my eyes twitch all the time. I keep a sore throat. My nose runs. But I'll make it over this. Well, I think today means 97 days and, well, as we say, 97 in a bag drag. Actually, 98 days to go. No, I do not need any money for my suit. At the present time, that is. And so far as suits are concerned, I'm pretty darn confused and upset about the present condition of my suit, or the one that was made for your father that was the wrong color that I decided to take, I should say. Maybe I'll get it this week and maybe not. I've also got your father's ordered again, and it should be in within the next 2 to 3 weeks. Well, that would be at the earliest, I'm sure. The sports coat and pants that I got, I really don't know why I got them. They're not really, well, I think I like them anyway, you know. So you bought your trench coat? Well, about time, I guess. It surprises me you haven't bought 2 or 3 already. Well, you know, you know how I feel about that. I don't suspect that you buy anything that you don't need, and well, what else can I say? I know you're not extravagant with your money. You don't have enough to be extravagant with, but I'm not worried about that. Do the best you can, and you have never told me what or how much we like having your mom and Irene paid back, so that I'll take for granted that we're just about done, huh? Don't know what other box you're talking about. Yeah, the lady I met in the hospital, yeah, I know that she was a missionary or what. She might have been, she's working as a clerk there also in one of the other departments. She seemed like a real nice lady, and she sent me the appointment for the hospital, and I can go in the 1st of January. Good thing I didn't make it for this month, because at the present time the city of Saigon is off limits to us, as they're burning military vehicles down there and throwing hand grenades and things like this again. So I'm not exactly sure when it will go back on limits, but we expect it to be sometime right after this coming holidays. We were hit a couple nights ago again, and we really expect to get hit tonight. Seems like every time I try to tape you a letter or anything of that sort, we do end up getting hit. And sometime I think, well, I won't even try taping tonight, because if I do, for sure we will end up getting hit. So, well, it's early now. It's only 6:30 here. That would make it, let's see, about 7:30 at night your time there on Monday. So we've got a long time to go before this night period is over with. Sergeant Shadle, the fellow I told you about from Tremont, is coming home, I think, this Sunday. And he told me he would come down to see you, and yeah, it's not to spy on you, if, or that's the way you put it anyway. That's not really the idea. However, well, that would be a bad idea, wouldn't it? So, don't worry about it. I'm not. And, well, I don't think I am anyway. But anytime I got to leave you alone there with all of your former friends, I get to thinking, well, you know, yeah, okay. So, well, I imagine you'd feel the same way if I was left in Kentucky, huh? Kentucky, wow. I'm glad that Mom and Dad had a good time while they were up there. I got a letter from them a couple of days ago, and they seemed to enjoy their trip up there, perhaps more than everybody else enjoyed having them. I just wonder what Irvin had to think about my father. I think that he'd never seen him before, right? And I can imagine other things that perhaps would not be appropriate to reflect in a tape, or well, we'll let it go at that, huh? How's everyone doing? How's the your mom and dad? I guess they're getting along about as well as usual. And how's the big sister? Irene, of course, right? She's not married yet, I assume. Well, I'll tell you what. One of these days, somebody's going to come along and sweep her right off her feet. Or maybe she can, you know, you just can't go through life being a single gal, right? You couldn't. Perhaps the reason you couldn't is that, well, let's say you're too hot to handle, huh? Yeah. Well, I don't know. Perhaps one way or the other, we've got to arrange this, either the operation or the pill concept, anything to get out of the present state of mind that we encounter in our love life. Well, that would be one way to put it anyway. I tell you, it's frustrating, confusing, heartbreaking, sickening, and any other thing that you would like to add into that, to have to worry. Things along this line, you know. It's just, I'm afraid to say really what I want to say, because I don't know who else is listening to this tape. But however, I think you can get the general idea at least, right? Well, trying to get back up off the bed here and light me a cigarette. I still have my nicotine fits. Yeah, I usually have 3 in the morning before I go to breakfast, and lately I've been eating 2 packs of cigarettes a day. And I think most of this is from lack of hearing from you. Well, that would be one thing to lay it on to anyway, wouldn't it? I really think that's why I've been smoking so much, is because I don't hear from you often enough. And I imagine by this time you're beginning to feel that I am not going to write again, aren't you? Well, I held off as long as I could with the other letter, and without hearing from you, and finally I couldn't hold off any longer because I do love you and I don't want you to worry about me. But I do like to hear from you. I think you can get the big picture from that. Just think, if you were to write me every other day for the rest of the time that I'm here, you'd only have approximately 50, well, about 40 letters to write. So I really do expect to hear from you more often, and if I hear from you more often, we'll try to write you more often, okay? The song goes someplace, love is a two-way street. Well, we gotta both get on that one-way street, all right? Hey, now on this other idea, let's do something and do it quick, because time is slowly running out. And it's much cheaper here than it is in the States, I'm sure. I'm not even sure what the price is here, but I would assume it's around $75 or $80. And it seems like I heard somebody talk before in the States, and it was considerably more than that. I'm not sure about that, but the thing is, if I'm going to get it, that was thunder. That wasn't incoming. I distinctly can tell you when it's incoming because I've heard enough of it right now. Though last night we did have a scare. I was laying here in bed, and one of my troops came over and said, "Hey Mac, hey Sergeant Mac, we're having a red alert." You know, I said, "What the hell? I didn't hear nothing." And what happened actually was one of the units across the field sent out some 40-millimeter rounds, and some of the people thought it was incoming, so they headed for the bunkers. Well, we got that scuttled away. I don't know how we got onto that, but anyway, what I was getting back to what we were talking about, or what I was talking about, and the thing is, I'd like to get this done before I leave here, because now is the time to do it. There's no possibility of the 30-day lapse of time that things are still potent, you know, and well, after a whole year living away from you, I don't think I could last a whole month living with you without trying to get engaged. Well, anyway, again, real soon, huh? I think to really confirm things, the operation, and I understand that it is relatively simple, would be more efficient. And so far as psychological aspects of the program, I don't think it would change my my conception or ideas any along that line. We'd have to take that chance. I'm willing to take that chance, and I'm not really worried about it. So what everybody tells me, or I say everybody, the couple of people that I've talked to here, is they walk in, walk out type operation. So they shouldn't be a whole lot of red tape mixed up with it. Well, tell you what, it's getting a little bit dark here, or beginning to get dark, so I think that I'm going to take my 3-block stroll to the latrine and the bathroom. They're one and the same, but that's where both the elements that I'm interested in right now are located, about 3 blocks from here. Take a stroll down there and take care of my business while it has stopped raining, because I'm sure that it's going to rain more just a little bit later. So let me sign off for right now, and I'll get back with you in a few minutes, okay? So I'll see you later. Hi, back again after a refreshing hot shower. Hot. The water is cold. Of course, cold water isn't too bad here as it's so hot. Perhaps this is what gives me a cold lots of times, because you go into the shower and you're hot and sweaty, and then the water is somewhat cool, so take a shower and then come out into the damp night air. Perhaps that could be what gives me a cold, in addition to the fan that I have going steadily in my room, and most of the time the air conditioner. I don't run it a lot of times at night here lately, because here lately it hasn't been too terribly hot at night. It gets awful hot in the daytime, but not too terribly bad at night. Well, anyway, there's not too much to write about here. Write, tape, whatever you want to talk about. It's the same old thing day after day. So, I mean, once you've heard it, there's not a lot of need of excuse me, not a lot of need of repeating it. I understand that you said you put the rabbits in the garage. Well, those rabbits better enjoy it while I'm gone. They've got a few more days to remain in the garage, I can assure you that. What a stink you'll have in the garage. What all have you got in the garage now, anyway? I'm afraid to ask what you did about the couch. I know you mentioned it for a while, and then all of a sudden you didn't mention it anymore, so I'm not too sure what that could mean. Did you ever get it recovered or not? Well, I'm sure that it did need it, and probably still, well, I know it still does if you haven't had it done already. Oh, this is a considerably long tape. I'm playing this tape on 3 3/4 now. The other tape I sent was taped 4-track 1 7/8. So I don't know what type recorder you have. I am only going to record 1 track of this tape. Well, I should say 2 tracks, but only 1 track on each side. So with any type recorder, you should be able to play it. I will also play it on, or tape it, on 3 3/4 speeds. My tape recorder has a 1 7/8, a 3 3/4, and a 7 1/2 tape speed. This depends on what you want to tape as to what speed you would use and how much tape you have. If I get real tired of talking, all I got to do is turn this thing over to the FM stereo or the AM station here, and I can give you a little Vietnamese music, or a little an American stereotype music that is played nightly on the FM stereo set. Again, I don't know what type you're using, but well, about all tape recorders have a 1 7/8 speed. As a matter of fact, I can't think of any right at the present time that do not have a 1 7/8 speed. Now, your tape seemed to be recorded partially on one channel, and this was particularly in the beginning, and then you switched over to the right channel, and well, it took me a couple minutes there to get it squared away, but I think your tape was readable. There was no doubt about that. But one thing that I think you should do, or you could do, to improve the quality or perhaps the sound, is to tape with a little more input volume to your tape and a little less hearing volume through your speakers, because I had to turn my speaker all the way to the full increased volume and set you on one channel before I could understand you. And then in most areas I had to listen real closely or I couldn't understand you. Well, so much for that. The boggle there was caused by I had to stop my reel and find out exactly how much tape I had left, and it seems as though I've got more than I thought I had. Even on this one side, I don't know how I'm going to do the other side. But anyway, I like to get tapes from you. However, seems like you find it easier to write more often than you do to tape, so maybe we can mix them up a little bit, huh? Well, what is there, about 22nd? 2 more shopping days left till Christmas. Guess you've got all of yours done already, huh? Well, this year, I didn't have to worry about that. I wish I had been able to send you some money and to buy the kids some presents from Vietnam here. But really, hon, there isn't nothing to buy, really. We are restricted. We cannot go off post. And the only things they have in the PX are expensive watches. The Longines watch is well, they start at about $123. They've got well, clothing, of course, lots of clothing. Well, it's mainly men's clothing. They also have lots of jewelry. Perfume seems to be a traditional standby here, or a gift, I guess, most of the fellows send home to their girlfriends. I don't know. But anyway, there's just nothing at all. I sure hope you've got your china. At least you can have that from me for Christmas, huh? Well, if I can't have you, I don't want anything at all, really. And I don't need anything here. Nothing that I can think of right now. We got from the Red Cross what is referred to as ditty bags. And in these bags, there's pencils, papers, handkerchiefs, writing materials. In some of them, there's socks. Some of them, there's soap. It's just a garbage bag or a grab bag, whatever you want to call it. The ones that we got here from the Red Cross were from the Pittsburgh chapter of the Red Cross. And I understand they send these to, well, the Red Cross sends these to all units here in Vietnam. So, so much for that, huh? Well, anyway, most of the guys will be glad to get them and give him something to look forward to. Be better than nothing, at least. Christmas trees are non-existent here also. There's 3 or 4 tinsel ones in the company, and the prefab jobs, the ones you stick the branches in, and you already have the tree. Well, I think I've about ran out on this side, so I'll let the rest of this tape run through, and I'll pick you up on side 2, okay? So play cool now, and don't rush too fast in turning the tape over. And I'm sure pretty soon here that it is going to finish. And if it doesn't, I think I'll just cut it off now and pick up on the other side. I can see the end coming down about 4 or 5 rows, okay? So hang on, I'll be right back. So how's that for a brief interlude there, huh? I'm sure you're going to notice a considerable change in volume there. Well, what I'm trying to say is you may have to turn your volume up more to get the stereo music, and well, it should be monolaural on this tape because I only recorded one channel. But your volume is going to be different between the music and the sound of my voice. I didn't want to cut the input volume down, so you can diddle around with your volume, okay? There isn't really that much to say. I'm laying here in bed now watching the Tulane, Colorado football game, and well, there's 2 minutes to go, and Tulane's ahead by 14 to 20. No, 17 till 17 to 3, I believe. So there's not too much doubt as to who's going to win this one. Dutch's Razorbacks haven't done too well this year. I think they ended up fourth in the one league, and well, Texas really swamped them the other day, so I guess she's rather upset about that. Got a Christmas card from the four of them a couple of days ago, and the Christmas cards that I'm receiving I'm tacking up around the wall, so at least I'll have some of the Christmas spirit. I really haven't missed the snow that you're having there. You can't really say that I missed it at all. I can just imagine how cold it is there, though, and I kind of wonder how the heating system is coming along. I hope that it's doing good. And how is your father's also? Is it working good at the present time? I sure hope so. I'm anxious to get home, not only to see you, but to investigate the heating system that he has in his house now, too. I'll have to get me a pot-bellied stove for the garage out there at our place, and that's where I'll spend my winter months, huh? Every time we get in an argument, I'll go out there and sleep. Never happened. Maybe when I get home here this, well, probably the 1st of April, we can go ahead and have our spring house cleaning early and go ahead and paint the basement while we're enjoying my 30 days vacation, huh? Well, we'll talk more about that later. And then again, I probably need the rest when I get home. How are the kids doing? How's Toddy? I hope his cold is better. I can't understand how I don't really understand what he means by the school bus hurting his head, but I guess maybe he's talking about the bumps and lumps and what have you. And evidently he was pretty sick because he usually takes his sickness with a kind of quietness about him and goes on about his business, doesn't he? What about Deb? Tell her I asked why she hasn't written me in the past couple of weeks. I do like to get letters from her, and it gives me an idea of how she's doing really overall. I can look at her handwriting and the way she writes, and at least indicates what improvement she's making. So tell her I said to get busy and drop me a line sometime, huh? She hadn't answered my letter yet either. And the Silent Sam there, Scott, how's he doing these days? I'll bet he's a bouncer. He was a bouncer when I left home, and if he's anything like he was when I left home, I bet he's a crackerjack. I just can't wait to see him, and the baby, of course. Guess she doesn't even know who her daddy is, huh? Well, Probably the rest of them have mostly forgotten me by now, except probably Todd and Deb. I'm sure they're old enough to remember and big enough to realize that I'm not around, and just wonder what they think about all that, huh? I know what I think about it, but I guess in this situation, what I think about it doesn't really help them at all. Well, I'll tell you, things are picking up in a line of work here. Today, I had one man on the flight line for work today. I had 3 individuals go up before the promotion board today, and I've got 3 on guard, 3 on leaving the States, and 3 working night duty, and that just about takes care of all my personnel. Tomorrow should be a little bit better. I should have about 3 of them tomorrow, so, well, things are looking up. For the E6s and below, it is possible for them to get up to about a, it was a 59-day drop, I believe. For senior NCOs, E7 through E9, they're not giving any drops. And what I mean by drops is that they're letting them come home early. There is no repeat, no possibility of, or at the present time that is, of me getting any drop at all. In other words, I'll leave Vietnam on the 29th of March of next year. Wow, that sounds a long time away too, doesn't it? Well, it is, but at least I'm through 3/4 of my tour now, and it won't be too long before these 3 months will roll around, and well, it's a little over 3 months, isn't it? But it won't be as long as it has been, that's for sure. I should get my tentative assignment orders within the next couple of weeks. I really hate to speculate on as to where they'll be. The other E7 that's leaving the company now, he is going directly from here to Germany, so oh wow, I sure hope that doesn't happen. Of course, you'd like Germany, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'll bet. Sure hate to have to make that trip. Now, anyway, wow, 8 more years of this garbage. Now, sometime I don't think I can put up with it, you know. At any rate, I guess it'll all work out in the long run. Well, I think I'm going to cut this tape short for tonight. I've got great expectations for this tape. Sergeant Shadle, the guy that lives in Tremont, Ron, I call him here, is again leaving Sunday. So I'm going to give this tape to him, I think. If he leaves Sunday, yes, I'll give this tape to him. And he says he will deliver it. I don't know whether he will or not, but, well, if I give it to him, he better. If he don't, I'll skin his head. He's going to Fort Campbell. That's down in Paducah, Kentucky, and it's in the southwest corner of the state. So he will be, it's about around 250 miles from where I live. So he's going to have a pretty good drive also between there and Tremont. So I think I better go to bed now and get a little shut-eye. 5:30 comes early tomorrow, and I've got a periodic inspection I have to do, or see that it gets done, I should say, on an aircraft tomorrow. So it could end up to be a long, long day. So, Mama, I think of you every night when I go to bed. I look at your pictures and the kids' pictures here on the wall, and I thank God that I have such a family as you, and that when I return home, we will all be healthy and glad to see each other again. So I'll say good night for now, and I love you. Good night.
Okay, today is December the 27th, or should I say Sunday, December the 27th. And I don't know, realize I've been a couple of days in making this tape, but due to work schedule and the holiday season, trying to catch up, work with a bare minimum of people, and give the rest of the fellows off. I just haven't found time to finish this tape. It's now about 5 minutes till 9 in the morning here. I want to finish this tape before I take Ron down to the 90th replacement detachment, where he will get his ticket to fly home today. So right after I finish this, I've got to go to the motor pool and sign out the Jeep and get him down there and get him on his merry way. Not much new has happened here in the past couple of days. We did have one aircraft that got shot last week. Well, I say got shot. Well, it did, really. It got holes through the elevators and the rudder, and, well, to you, that would be the rear end of the aircraft. So no one was hurt, and the aircraft is still flying, so it's really no big thing. The one mission that we have is considerably low-level mission, meaning we fly very close to the ground, and it is a little bit dangerous for the pilots, and well, none of us have been on that mission yet. It's strictly a crew chief affair, so I'm not hankering to go on that mission either. Well, let's see, what else is there to talk about? Oh, we all received Christmas presents in Vietnam, and they were from the Pittsburgh chapter of the American Red Cross. What they did was fix up some bags, and in these bags they have Christmas card, candy, handkerchiefs, cigarette lighters, cigarette packets, playing cards, combs, toothbrushes, and oh yeah, yo-yos. Out of the 13 individuals that I have in my platoon, the only thing that, well, the biggest kick out of anything in that bag they got was the yo-yos. Everybody's running around playing with their yo-yos. I broke mine already. But the guys really enjoyed them, and well, most of them still have them yet, so they'll probably all be going on sick call now with broken right arms or sprained right arms. The Bob Hope Show was in the area, let's see, day before yesterday, I guess. It was down at Long Bend, which is about 15 miles from here, and a lot of the people from the company went. I say a lot, about 32 of them, I think, something of that nature. I didn't go. I went to work, so some of the rest of the kids could go. And then last night I watched part of it on TV. I worked yesterday, and well, you could say last night too, up until about 9:30, and then I came up and went into the lounge to get a Coca-Cola, and the Bob Hope Show from Long Bend here was on TV, so I sat down and watched about 20 minutes of that. It was real good. I heard all of it on radio, and then seen that small portion of the show yesterday on, or last night rather, on TV. It was really good. Looks like Mr. Hope has picked up a lot of weight, and evidently he's not getting any younger. Well, I really don't know what to talk about here. There just isn't much to say. Oh, I got the confirmed receipt copy, or whatever the heck you want to call it, of the Chinaware back yesterday, and it seems that I paid them $1.34 too much money, so I have that refund coming. I wonder if you've gotten it already. I was hoping that you would get it in time for the Christmas holidays, but since I just got that back yesterday, kind of doubt if you do get it. So anyway, when you get it, hope you enjoy it. Well, I checked all my suits yesterday, or on the green one that I ordered for your dad, which I'm having altered for myself. It's ready for pickup, and I'll have to get it payday, I guess. Your father's has been ordered for a couple of weeks now, and shouldn't be too much longer before it gets in. I hope it's the right color and size this time. Those people pretty well pissed me off on this suit deal. I'm getting the green one that I ordered for your father at a reduced price, though, and really I think it's an excellent suit. I think that I would order very, very, very few more from those people, perhaps none at all. So do what you want about Bud's suit. If you want to send the measurements and me to order it, fine, go ahead, I'll do it. Other than that, when I get your father's suit in, I'm going to cut them off of my approved list. How's the weather there? Weather forecast here, or weather analysis here, say that you're having quite a bit of cold weather there. It hasn't gotten any colder here. It's still hot as the dickens, and I don't know. I doubt if it ever gets any colder here than it is right now. I understand in some parts of Vietnam that it does get considerably cold, though, but that is not the case in this general area here. Well, I've gotten Christmas cards from my grandmother McQuinn, Dunn, the Oateses, Carl, and no, I didn't get one from Carl and Darlene. From Susie and Harold. Let's see. And Finley. What I'm trying to get at is that I do not have or have not received your Christmas card yet, nor have I received any of the kids. Sure, I've got Irene's and your mother's and father's, and Grimes's, Bud Grimes. I got theirs last week, but then again, I haven't got that all-important one, and that's the one from you, right? I hope you got mine. I didn't really think that the Christmas cards they sent would get home so soon, because, because of the Christmas holidays. But evidently they got home a long, long time prior to the Christmas holidays. Well, at any rate, better late than never, huh? So much for Christmas 1970. Sure hope we can spend Christmas 1971 together. Really upset about that. Perhaps you won't believe that, but I really am. I would have loved to spend Christmas with you and the children. And I'm still looking for that first night in my bed in my home. So I think perhaps you can understand what I'm talking about there. Oh, well, I really don't know. I'm feeling good these days, so occasionally I'm getting the St. Vitus itch again, and you know how I react to that. It's not as often as it used to be, but I think perhaps it is nerves, because I kind of try to stop and catch myself sometime and figure out just exactly why and where it's coming from, and yeah, I believe it is mostly my nerves. Well, we're getting down to the last 100 or so feet of this tape, and I am going to give this to Ron and see if he will deliver it. I'll try to write you a letter within the next day, or perhaps this afternoon, to follow this. If he brings this, today's Sunday here, that's Saturday your time, Saturday night your time. I see,
you should perhaps get this either Monday or Tuesday, depending on how fast he reacts once he gets to the States. I'm rather doubtful if he delivers it in a hurry anyway, because, well, like we all say, we're going on a week's bed rest when we get here, when we get home, that is. So, at any rate, I'm sure that you will get it, and just how soon from today, I don't know. But anything, we'll try once, huh? Well, I'm still looking for the return letter with your paperwork in it, or some confirmation as to exactly what you're going to do. I need that soon. Time is slowly flying here, and we need to make some positive step real soon. So shake it up. Let me know what you're going to do, okay? Well, tell the kids I said goodbye. Tell everyone I said hello. And sounds like you might have some problem with the car there, and perhaps you either one of two things: a worn-out clutch, throw-out bearing, or a transmission gear or two might be kind of torqued out of shape. So do the best you can, and just keep everything together till I get home, okay? So I'll shut this thing off for now, and and keep rattling until the end of it runs out. So if all of a sudden I get cut off, why, you'll know that was the end of the line for the tape, and I'll expect to hear from you not too distant future. And as a matter of fact, today I expect to hear from you, but I expected a lot of days to hear from you and didn't, so grin and bear it, huh? Well, I think we are at the end now, so I'll sign off now by saying I love you, miss you, need you, and want you very much. So goodbye for now, and I hope to see you in the not too distant future, okay? Bye, babe.
Get a bit closer to it.
I think maybe you've misunderstood something that I tried to explain to you in a letter. I did not tell you, hon, that I was going to extend. As a matter of fact, geez, I have no intentions of ever extending in this joint because, believe it, I'm fed up with this place. Geez, I really don't know what to say because I don't think I led you to believe that I was, at the time that I asked it, I thought it was all in fun. I'm sorry, maybe I didn't realize that you would take it that hard. Oh, geez, what can I say? I'm really sorry because, again, I have no intentions of extending, nor did I ever have any intentions of extending. I really don't know what to say except that I am sorry, and you can rest assured that by March 31st that I will be coming home, and well, I won't even mention extensions in any type of letter anymore. So, yes, I want the kids to finish school there. That's for sure. I do not want to move them now that they're almost ready to finish school. If I get home by 1 April, I'll have 30 days leave, and that will make it May. So there would be only May and June. That would be absolutely necessary for us to be apart, even while we're in the States. So, yes, I do want the kids to finish school where they're at now. So don't worry about that. Okay, so I think that problem is settled. I mean, there is no doubt about that. The kids will finish school there in PA where they're at now. Yes, I agree with you. Even when we do move, I would rather that we didn't go back to Dodge, as you say, pile in. That's the way it's been in the past, and I think, though, with the 2 months of preparation, that I should be able to find us someplace to live prior to when you get down. You said you called Elfie, and the Don was assigned back to Fort Rucker, and that it took approximately 6 months to get quarters. Now, I heard that same thing from Sergeant Barley here. Sergeant Barley, no, it wasn't Sergeant Barley either, it was Sergeant Morgan, said that they had something like 1,800 people on the quarters list at the present time. And they no longer go, of course, this even changed while I was home, that they no longer go by rank. They go by first come, first serve. So I would really hesitate to speculate on how long it would take to get quarters right at the present time. Judging from what Sergeant Morgan said, 6 months would probably seem like a short time if there's 1,800 people on that list. But anyway, I wouldn't worry about that just at the present time. Yes, you ask if I'm okay. I am okay. I had a bit of a tooth problem right now. It's what's making my ear hurt, really. I think I told you that in the letter. I hope to get this taken care of Monday, so it's not that big a thing right now. You kind of insinuated in the, let's see, it says, I'm glad you're feeling better, and this is yours, I'm quoting. It says, I'm glad you're feeling better. You probably had the flu or something else, parentheses, I'd rather not mention. Well, you can bet that I am not drinking, regardless of what you might think. I am not. This is Saturday night. The club is open. I say the club. It's a lounge where you can go buy beer if you wanted it. But I do not intend to start. You know how I drink. I am a lush, right? So I don't even see why you should mention that, or the way I would gather it, insinuate that. So enough of that, okay? He says here, it says, I am going to the Red Cross to have them try to reach you. I must talk with you on our problems here. Well, I think the problem you're referring to was the problem, or was the area of our misunderstanding on extensions, so we won't have to worry about that. Anyway, did you ever go to the Red Cross? Yes, you can extend, babe, before your time is up or before March 31st. But again, forget it. I'm not going to do. I do not enjoy it here. I do not enjoy being away from you fellows. And I say you fellows, I'm talking about you, Marianne, and the kids. I do love you, perhaps more than you even think or ever thought that I did. And how do I convince you of that? I don't know. I do the best I can. I do love you. I do want to be with you. And this, coupled with the fact that I have got to provide for you in the best way that I know how, it's a hard decision for me sometimes to really understand what I want to do and what has to be done, because I have to take you into consideration, and I have to take the kids into consideration. And I do want to help you take care of the kids. And this is actually the only thing that I hate about the service is being apart from you and the kids so much. Other than that, I don't care. It's not a bad job, if you look at it in that sense. But then again, there comes this separation between you and the kids, and that is the only thing I really don't like. And I don't particularly like Fort Rucker either. You say something here about why do I like Fort Rucker so much. I don't like Fort Rucker. I really don't. It don't make any difference with me. I would have rather been up north someplace where you and the children would not have had to move, and where I could have come home on the weekends and we could have maintained our home and still led a halfway decent life together. But I guess it isn't to be because I've got orders for Fort Rucker, and I would think that there is very little chance of getting them changed. Uh, uh, in reference to my calling home, Saigon is still off limits, not only to me, but to the company. It is off limits to all companies, as a matter of fact. No one is going into Saigon at the present time. And again, it's because of the student demonstrations and vehicle burning and things of this nature. So far as I know, no American GIs have actually been killed, but the vehicles they were riding in have been burned, and some of them have escaped with minor injuries. So again, I'm not restricted from Vietnam, from Saigon. The whole company is restricted from Saigon. And it says here that you have another enlisted number. Boy, your number changes real frequent, huh? Seems like I've seen this one before, 717-273-9092. Seems like that was the number we had when I left home, wasn't it? But then again, you say that it's unlisted, so I'm not too sure about that. Okay, yeah, well, I have you upset. I'm sorry that that you got the wrong idea on what I was trying to get across to you, and well, we'll let that slide at that, okay? 62 days, something, well, I thought it was something like, as of today, which is the 30th, I thought it was something like 59 or 60. Maybe your count's more accurate than mine. I don't really try to keep track of it that much. If I do, well, I just watch the days go by, and every day gets longer and longer. You say, I believe you are wanting to stay away from us longer since your time is short there. Negative. That is not the case. And again, just as quick as I am eligible, according to my orders, 31 March 71, the kid will be home. You say that you're going to the Red Cross if this doesn't help, and you'll guess yourself where my next step will be. No, not the U.S. Army. Now, exactly what do you mean by that? Because I do not have any idea what you're talking about, and maybe I should. Anyway, don't think your first step is necessary. Now that I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you, that I am not extending in Vietnam, nor did I ever have any intentions to extend in Vietnam. If I had been interested in getting away from you and the kids, hon, I would have volunteered to come to Vietnam or Korea, Germany, someplace, sometime long ago. So please don't think that I do. But on the other side of the tape, perhaps, well, it was the TV going, and the TV is sitting about 8 feet away, and I had the sensitivity ranked up pretty high, and it was picking it up, and so I turned the volume down on the TV, and now I've got silent, at this time right now, silent news. Hey, you will not. And I want to emphasize that, and I want Debbie to hear this portion of the tape. You will not cut her hair until I come home. Understand that. You will not cut her hair until I come home. And then we will decide if we are going to cut her hair. You are going to cut her hair. Deborah, you had better not let have your hair cut. And look, kid, I am sorry that I haven't written or answered your letter, but Daddy has been very busy here. Perhaps not so busy that I could not have written. That is a bad excuse, but I will get around to writing you a letter as soon as possible. Okay? No hair cutting. All right, Deb? Okay, you help Mama take care of the boys and girls there, and be a good girl for Mama, and remember that Toddy's your brother, and don't treat him bad, but try to help Mama make him mine, okay? Okay. I'll write you a letter as soon as I can, all right? Maybe tomorrow. Do you have a cold? Mom says that Sally Ann and Toddy have the sniffles, and she says something about, who is it? Scott maybe has a little ear trouble. This is probably from his cold also. And that the kids are getting spoiled. Well, that's kids, huh? Oh, your piano recital. I would have given anything to hear that, and I'm sure that she played very well. And you're planning another one in April sometime. Well, I hope the one you're planning in April is, let's for safety's sake say sometime will be around the second week or perhaps the third week of April. And if all goes well, I'm sure that by that time I will be home, and I would love to hear it. And I want you to rig up a special number just for Daddy when I do get home. The one musical tape I sent, I don't really understand that. I was under the assumption that you could not play a stereo record on the set that you have, or a stereo tape. Now, if you can play stereo tapes, geez, let me know, and I'll send you some of the taping that I've done here, and you can have music without any problem at all. Received your letter of 17th, rather lengthy once again. Well, I think here you misunderstood something else that I put in my letter. And you say you guess your pictures weren't pretty. I guess my picture was pretty horrid at that. Marianne, I love you. Now, what else can I say? I had nothing to say. Hon. Really. I wanted your picture, and I didn't care how long your hair was. And I didn't care that your hair was colored. And nothing had been said about plastic surgery. Just take care of the kids. Take care of yourself. And I'm not saying that you should go out and have anything done. Just take care of yourself is all I'm trying to say. I know that you take care of yourself, you take care of the kids, and you take care of the house better than anyone else could. And don't worry about displeasing me, okay? Yeah, I know, I have room for improvements too. Glad to hear this. Debbie gets out of bed on time in the morning. She can be a big help to you if she will keep doing like you say she's doing now. So just train her right. That way she'll always be there to help you and do stuff, you know. Yeah, this year has been very trying for you, I'm sure, and probably for the kids, and I know definitely for a fact that it has been confusing, very long, very upsetting, and anything else that's derogatory in nature, because it has been really rough. So far as the takes two to tango bit, it's a little bit late to worry about that. 2 years ago wouldn't have helped us a whole lot. But there are our kids, and let's take care of them the best we can, okay? Todd seems to be the 8 ball. Everybody's having trouble with him, huh? Well, maybe that I can get him straightened out through, taking him with me places and, just being around. Maybe he won't be quite as bad. And make sure that Debbie doesn't pound too drastically. It's not Debbie's place to pound upon him. It's actually yours and my place. So make sure that he doesn't develop some complex because we're letting him get beaten up by her. I think I told you on the other side of this tape, I'm now into your letter of August. Oh, yeah, August. Wow. January the 23rd, I believe it was. I don't really like Alabama. But what else are you going to do? You more or less go where you're assigned, and you know how that goes. So why speculate on that any further? And let's see, you knew about as many people as I did. Only people I knew were the people I worked with. Occasionally went fishing with. Guess my fishing and smoking are the two biggest headaches in your life, huh? It seems to be sometimes. Well, anyway, maybe we can solve that out, or resolve that little problem, or some way. I don't know. Say you'd rather be a guard than a fool. Wow, that comes out of the wild blue yonder, too. It says, yes, I'll always be your fuzz, honey, but never, never a fool. I'd rather be a guard than a fool. I don't really understand that. No, you've never given me any reason to run out, and what prompted that statement? Also, whenever we do make love, well, period, I love you for every minute of it. Every minute of it. How about every half hour of it, huh? Oh, your time is coming. Your problem is in timing. Yeah, there's a few people that have problems in timing, huh? Well, and if I had a schedule during my periods, you'd break it up because you need it so often. Well, yeah, you got a point there. But it won't be as long as it has been, will it? Well, there was something else that I wanted to talk about. Oh, yeah, I'm glad to hear you finally got all of the China. I was beginning to wonder whether you were going to get all of it or exactly what the problem was, if any. I think I told you that I ordered Bud's suit. It should be in about the 20th of February. At any rate, I hope to get it before I leave here after all the trouble I've had with the other suits that I bought here. Wow, I'm just about afraid to go buy any anymore. I've thought seriously just going ahead and sending it home by mail, and I'm getting ready to ship my whole baggage probably within the next week or two. And I'd like to have my tape recorder home when I get there. So maybe I'll just stash your dad's suit in with my whole baggage and hope that it gets home before I do or about the same time I do. I don't really know how long it's taking whole baggage to get home now. So I think I'll just go ahead and send it about next week sometime. There was something else. Something about 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, that's when you mentioned Debbie's getting cut in 2 weeks. Again, no. Capital N, little o, no. Not really too much else to talk about here, except I do love you very, very much. I wish that I could be with you now, and tonight I would like to snuggle up close to you and go to sleep and feel your arms around me. Wake up in the morning, feel you in the bed beside me.